I lost my grandfather. He succumbed to COVID, but there were also chronic illnesses that he had been undergoing. He had kidney problems. He had, I think he had also lung problems. So just a lot of factors that, because of being infected with COVID, they progressed very fast and led to his death.
So my mother died in the new year, rather unexpectedly. That came a bit of a shock. And my father died about 6 years ago. So, in fact, my stepfather. So, yes, I have twice actually. And in fact, my wife's mother died, about 10 years ago now. So, and they all died of the same thing, cancer. In a way, I think I'm still coping with my mother's death, but I don't think I have yet, to be honest, because it was so sudden and unexpected. So I'm still coming to terms with that. My father's death, we knew my dad was dying of cancer, and we cared for him at home for about 6 months. So that was quite an intensive process, and I think that hit me harder emotionally.
There's a lot of things that are running in my mind at that time. The semester was just coming to an end. I had projects that I was doing. I had planned on going to see him just after the semester finished, because I always imagined that he was going to make it. And it was also going to be our first reunion since I went to university. I hadn't gone back home since I finished my high school. And so it has been hard for me, because this is someone who was so close to me, who loved me so dearly, and I loved him too.
Like, since my mother's death, I think, because there's 5 siblings, so I think it's brought us together closer. I've dealt with it that way, and just through being with my family. Yeah, I think everyone's different.
I don't like to let my feelings out known. I'm quite repellent when it comes to expressing myself with them, but at the time that my grandpa died at home, because it was this man who was, I would say, it was larger than life to us, because of the way he just carried himself. And so rumors had come around, they were not really rumors, because that is what he succumbed to COVID. At that time, and the regulations that people were not supposed to meet in crowded areas, and all that drama that surrounded COVID and the regulations.
Just a moment, but first, there's Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has announced a 21-day lockdown. From 1900 hours tonight, all transport will be shut down.
So when I got back home and just about when his burial was being planned, I found rumors that people are shying away from our family because they heard that our grandfather had died of COVID. This was someone who everybody, these people, when he was alive, they always came to him for help. They always came to him for advices. Times like these call for unity and being there for each other. And so for me, being quite repellent where I am, I would just sit alone most of the times.
For about 3 months, I kind of gradually let go. And actually, with my mother, it was interesting because there was a gap between when she passed away and the funeral, quite a long gap for various reasons. And it was only at the funeral, in some ways, that it kind of hit me. So I think this is like a trigger moment. But it's a continual process, and it's a cliche, but I still sometimes think, well, less and less so, but like, for example, my mother, you walk around the house and think, oh, I'll give her a ring, and then you realise she's not there. And I did that quite a lot with my dad. So I think that time period, it depends on how soon it is.
Some people may react differently to loss. Some may be sad, others may be anger. You'll see some people isolating themselves. Physical activities or any activity or tasks they used to enjoy before, they will start not doing those tasks. So as a while, if you're a friend or if you're somebody who's close to the person who's grieving, you'll notice some changes in how they normally function.
Nobody ever talks about these things. Nobody's ever said to me, look, it's funny because when you have a child, there's lots of advice. People talk about, you go to NCT classes, you meet the midwife before, you speak to other people about what happens here, what happens. And most people are completely prepared for the birth of the children in a way that, although it's still a bit of a shock to the system, you kind of know what's coming. Nobody ever says that to you about grieving. It just happened. And afterwards, people are very understanding, but yeah, there's no pathway, which is quite interesting. Maybe that's something we need to think about.
I'll advocate for going to therapy or seeing a psychologist, because this will help you be in a conducive environment where you can open up, and it can also, therapists can help you come up with coping strategies so you can manage the grief that you're going through. Grief counseling or CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, can be of hand when you're going through grieving. So yeah, I'll advocate for that. I'll also say join a support group. You'll be within a group of people who you share the same common, let's say, reaction to the grief, or maybe you're going through the same thing, and it will help you open up and express your feelings in a much more easier way.
One thing we should all know, that everyone goes through grief, and it's inevitable in life. It's something that has to happen. We show support. We come together as a community. We listen to you, because most of the times we realize that youth don't really have a place to be listened to. Listen to we need to be listened to, and then it's hard for us to open up to just anyone. It's easier to open up to your peers. When you come and find an open space to be listened to, and you notice that everyone else is getting a chance to be listened to, it's easier to open up and talk about how you feel and what's going on in your life. Yeah.
Take your time, be kind and loving to yourself, take care of yourself. Grief is a long process. It depends for you. So grief varies from people to people. So if today you feel like, oh, I'm okay, then that's fine. But for other people, it may be for years or months. So be kind and patient and loving to yourself and take care of yourself. It starts with you.